A new docuseries puts the spotlight on West Hollywood elites, but is it all glitz and glam in La La Land? Take a listen.
If you didn't date him, somebody adjacent to you dated him. It is 1 degree of separation.
It's like high school.
It's like high school. Curtis Hamilton, James Vaughn star in the Real Friends of WEHO, and they are joining us with all the details. Thanks, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Curtis, let's start with you. Fill us in on what we can expect from the show.
You can expect 6 queer guys coming together in this community and just kind of telling their own personal stories. And we kind of, we all didn't know each other, so we kind of get to know each other as the process goes on and the filming goes on, and we get to learn about some things that are, personal to people that they end up bringing and talking about on the show. And I think that we're all different, and I think that's a great representation of the community as a whole, not just West Hollywood, just as queer people.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. And you both no strangers to the spotlight with your careers in film and entertainment news. James, for you, why did you decide that now was the time for you to do the show?
So I actually, you'll see in the show, had given up my entertainment news career to launch my LGBTQ plus cruise company, Outbound. And this was sort of like a goodbye for me because I had stepped away, but I realized I had stepped away where for 10 years, I was just this guy that talks to the camera like this and reads the teleprompter. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And so this was a chance for me to shake it all off and go on camera and not worry about anything except telling a story that I realized I hadn't told. I wanted to tell my story of getting from a very dark place to a very happy place. And it was a journey. And I was pretending on camera a lot like my life was perfect when it wasn't. And so I was like, let me just share this because there's somebody that needs to hear it, just like I needed to hear it when I was younger.
Yeah, that's encouraging to hear from you. Curtis, let's shift gears back over to you. You kind of alluded to this earlier, but did you all know each other prior to filming?
Well, again, as I think in the trailer it says, what James says is...
I didn't know none of y'all.
What'd you say?
I didn't know any of y'all.
Well, 1 degree of separation. But yeah, I had known Dorian for a very, very long time in this business. I had known Brad from the gym. And, me and Todrick, we know some close friends. And I didn't know Joey and James. But, yeah, when you live in this community, again, it's not that hard to know of someone or to know someone pretty much maybe somebody that's close to them. So it kind of feels like you know them. So I knew about everybody that came on this cast, but I didn't know them personally, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I was a fan of these guys because being an entertainment news host, like, who all these people are. So it was kind of cool for me to actually get to know the people behind the persona. But also, you'll see it was weird for me to step back from my job as a TV host sometimes because I would find myself just falling back into it and interviewing somebody and be like, wait, no, we're not doing an interview, we're hanging out.
Yeah, that's true of me, I think, as well. Whenever I'm hanging out with people, I find myself interviewing them all the time, and I can't get it out of my, it's in my genes, right? It's in my DNA. Maybe for you, James, what's something you learned about yourself while you were filming this show?
Oh my gosh, y'all, like, speaking of sharing your dark stuff, I learned that just because you think you're healed from trauma doesn't mean you necessarily are, and things can trigger it that you didn't realize could trigger it. And so it's all about digging back into yourself and figuring out what work you need to do to not be triggered by stuff that maybe brings up things from your past. Not to take it down on morning television, but there's actually a bright side to it. And that's the cool thing about our show, too. If there's ever conflict, you see the resolution and you see the growth from it. And I think that's what's really special about this, that you don't see a lot on reality TV.
Yeah, Curtis, one last question for you. What do you hope viewers come away with when they're watching the show?
That we're real people, that we're relatable, that we have issues. Doesn't matter that, we're successful in our own rights and what we do, but we have real issues that are going on in our lives. And, and again, that's why I joined for aspirational reasons. And I hope people walk away being inspired, obviously entertained. And not only that, just kind of look into their own personal lives and just kind of learn and can kind of apply it there, whatever way that's possible, whoever they relate to on the show, that they can, maybe not go through some of the things that we went through, and they can find something to relate to on the show.
Yeah, some truth there. Well, thanks for being an inspiration to us, both of you gentlemen. Thanks so much.
Hey, y'all, thank you for having us. This was fun. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.